Hi, the topic of discussion today is immunity from the chapter Human Health and Disease. So, what exactly is this immunity? Immunity is the ability of the host to fight off disease-causing organisms, also known as pathogens, from entering the body. So, immunity is the ability of the host to fight off disease-causing organisms, which are also known as pathogens, from entering the body. So, let us define immunity. So, immunity is the ability of the host to fight off disease causing organisms, which is also known as pathogens, from entering the body. Basically, immunity is divided into two main types: innate immunity and acquired immunity. Immunity is divided into two main types: innate immunity and acquired immunity. So, innate immunity, the host has got this type of immunity right from birth. It is a non-specific type of immunity in the form of barriers. Innate immunity, the host has got this immunity right from birth. It is a non-specific type of immunity in the form of barriers. Non-specific in the form of barriers. Types of innate immunity. There are different types of innate immunity. The first type of innate immunity is known as physical barrier. So skin and the mucus which lines some of the systems of a body, like the respiratory system, the urinogenital system and the digestive tract, the mucus and the skin prevents the entry of the pathogens from the body. The second type of innate immunity is known as physiological barrier. So certain chemicals that are produced by our body, like the acid that is produced in the stomach, or the saliva in the mouth, or the sweat on the skin, all this prevents the microorganisms or the pathogens from entering the body. So innate immunity first type is the physical barrier. Example is skin and mucus. And the second type is physiological barrier. Example is the acid in the stomach, the saliva in the mouth, the sweat on the skin. So the third type of barrier is known as cellular barrier. So what exactly is this cellular barrier? Now, the blood has got different types of cells. The WBCs, also known as white blood corpuscles, commonly called the leukocytes. There are certain types of leukocytes which are capable of phagocytosis. Phago means eating, cytosis means cells. So they are capable of engulfing foreign cells that enter the body. Examples of cellular barriers are the neutrophils, also known as polymorphonuclear leukocytes. So we have got in barriers, we have got physical barrier. Example is skin and mucus. Then we have got physiological barrier. Physiological barrier, example is acid in the stomach, saliva and sweat. Next is cellular barrier. Cellular barrier, example is PMNL, polymorphonuclear leukocytes. In addition to that, there are some other cells like the monocytes, the macrophages. These all cells are capable of phagocytosis. That means they are capable of engulfing any pathogen that enters the body. They form the cellular barrier. The next type of barrier is known as cytokine. So whenever a virus infects a healthy cell, then the cell is going to produce a protein which is known as interferon. So whenever a virus infects a cell, the cell will produce a protein which is known as interferon, and this particular protein prevents the virus from attacking the other healthy cells. So this is known as cytokine barrier. So innate immunity, there are 4 types: physical, physiological, cellular and cytokine. Now we come to the next type of immunity, that is known as acquired immunity. As the word suggests, acquired immunity. This type of immunity is got to the host during its lifetime. It is a specific type of immunity that is characterized by memory. So this type of immunity is acquired during the lifetime, which is specific type of immunity, and it is characterized by memory. So acquired during the lifetime, it is specific and it is characterized by memory. So what's meaning of specific? That means it is pathogen specific. It is specific for a particular pathogen. It is specific for a particular disease causing organism. It is characterized by memory. That means there are 2 types of response. Whenever the host is exposed to a pathogen to the first time, it produces a very low key type of response which is known as primary response. So when the host is exposed to the pathogen for the first time, it produces a response which is known as primary response. This response is not very strong, but if the host is exposed to the same pathogen the next time, then it is going to produce a very strong response, which is a rapid response, which is known as secondary response. So which are the cells which are concerned with pathogen? The cells concerned with the pathogen are they are the B lymphocytes and the T lymphocytes. The B lymphocytes, they produce the antibodies, and the T lymphocytes, they help the B lymphocytes to produce the antibodies. So acquired immunity is controlled by 2 types of cells: the B lymphocytes and the T lymphocytes. B lymphocytes and the T lymphocytes. The B lymphocytes produce antibodies and T lymphocytes help the B lymphocytes to produce the antibodies. So what exactly are these antibodies? Antibodies are proteins which help to kill a particular antigen, or they are proteins that help to destroy a particular antigen. Since they are proteins, they are made up of polypeptide chains. Antibody is made up of 4 polypeptide chains: 2 long chains and 2 short chains. The long chains are known as heavy chains and the short chains are known as light chains. Therefore, an antibody is described as H2L2. 2H2 stands for the heavy chain and L2 stands for the light chain. So H2 stands for the long chain and L2 stands for the short chains. Now in between these chains there is a place where the antigen can bind, and that is known as the antigen binding site. So antibodies are produced by the B lymphocytes, and the T lymphocytes helps the B lymphocytes to produce the antibodies. And antibodies are nothing but the proteins that are produced by the host which help to destroy the antigens which enter the body along with the pathogen. Okay, once again, acquired immunity, we can classify it into 2 more types. We can call it as humoral immunity and cell-mediated immunity. Acquired immunity can be divided into humoral immunity and cell-mediated immunity. So what exactly is the humoral immunity? As the word suggests, humoral means body fluid. The main body fluid is blood. So antibodies are present in the blood. So humoral immunity is concerned with the production of antibodies. And like I mentioned little earlier, which cells are concerned with the production of antibodies? They are the B lymphocytes. So B lymphocytes are concerned with the humoral immunity. The next step of immunity is cell-mediated immunity. So cell-mediated immunity is under the concern of the T lymphocytes. This is very clearly seen in case of organ transplant. Whenever an organ is transplanted into the host body tends to reject the organ. Why does it reject the organ? Because of the T lymphocytes. These T lymphocytes, they will actively engulf the cells of the organ, or they will produce certain cytokine or which will destroy the organ. Therefore, the T lymphocytes are concerned with cell-mediated immunity, which is seen in organ transplant. There is a way to slow down or to prevent rejection of the organ by the host body. So once there is an organ transplant, the host or the individual or the patient who has done the organ transplant has to take immunosuppressants all through his or her life. So he has to take immunosuppressants. Okay, so once again, acquired immunity, once again we can divide it into two more main types. One which is known as active immunity and the other which is known as passive immunity. So if the host itself produces antibodies in response to a particular antigen, then we call it as active immunity. Under what circumstances will the host produce antibodies? The host is going to produce antibodies when it is exposed to the pathogen through an infection or through vaccination. So if the pathogen enters the body through normal infection or the pathogen enters the body through vaccination, then the host body is going to produce antibodies. That is known as active immunity. Now, what is passive immunity? If the antibodies are directly injected into the host, if the host gets the antibodies directly, then it is known as passive immunity. A child gets antibodies through colostrum. And what is this colostrum? Colostrum is the milk that is produced during the initial stages of lactation. So the child receives antibodies from the colostrum from the mother. So next, even a child may receive antibodies from the mother through the placental barrier. And certain injections where the antibodies are directly injected into the body, like in case of tetanus or anti-snake venom, then this is an example of passive immunity. So in today's topic, I've discussed about immunity. Immunity is the ability of the host to fight off disease-causing organism using the body's immune system. Immunity can be broadly classified into innate immunity and acquired immunity. Immunity can be broadly classified into innate immunity and acquired immunity. So innate immunity, the host is born with this type of immunity. It is non-specific and it occurs in the form of barriers. It is present from birth. It is non-specific and it occurs in the form of barriers. There are 4 types of innate immunity: the physical barrier, the physiological barrier, the cellular barrier and the cytokine barrier. Next is the acquired immunity. This type of immunity is acquired during the lifetime. It is pathogen specific type of immunity and it is characterized by memory. So acquired immunity is the concern with the production of antibodies by the B lymphocytes and they are helped by the T lymphocytes. So antibodies are nothing but proteins which are made up of 4 polypeptide chains, 2 long chains which are known as heavy chains and 2 short chains which are known as light chains. They have got a antigen binding site. Once again, acquired immunity can be divided into 2 main types, that is humoral immunity and cell-mediated immunity. And again we can divide acquired immunity into active immunity where the host itself produces the antibodies and passive immunity where the antibodies are acquired by the host through an external source. I hope you have understood this concept well. Thank you.